The COVID-19 outbreak has affected a lot of important elements of human life. Worldwide, countries are currently witnessing crashes in life sectors such as the economy, health security, education, and aviation, just to mention a few. It is very important to note that the impact of COVID-19 has not spared any human being with regard to age, economic status, education levels, etc. In Malawi, for example, while everyone worries over impacts of COVID-19 in their capacity, the youth are worried over the manner in which their activities have been infringed. Schools have been closed, meetings banned, and public activities such as sports restricted as well. Some youths worry that this could kill many young people if the situation lasted longer. One of the sectors that have been heavily burdened is aviation, where countries across the board have closed their entries and outlets just in the way their borders are being heavily checked. This means that for countries that depend on importation of goods and services, the glitch is already being felt and it could worsen to suffocation in the long run. Apart from transportation, production of drugs and other medical supplies has been affected in producing countries around the world. Malawi is one of the poorest countries in the world, heavily relying on imported goods and services. Such goods include medical supplies such as drugs and equipment. Given a continued COVID-19 attack, it is feared that health facilities in countries such as Malawi might suffer drug scarcity resulting from its restriction on aviation and border operations. Additionally, some young people are panicking over rumors that production of sexual reproductive health-related products such as condoms and medical drugs may get affected by the COVID-19. In their view, without family planning supplies, their sexual reproductive health rights are definitely going to be heavily jeopardized and many youths are likely to lose their future.
Kubwera kwa COVID-19 kuzikula tuna Malawi takuzika muzinthu zambiri. The
COVID-19 outbreak has affected youth activities in many ways. For example, access to healthy services. Previously, young people were able to meet in groups at youth-friendly healthy facilities to access healthy services privately, such as family planning and STI treatment. At first, the president ordered a reduction in numbers of people that can be allowed to gather. But now, there is no other way but for everyone to stay home. We should remember that even though we are asked to stay home, young people will still continue to meet and engage in sexual activity. Now, without protection and family planning, it is obvious that by the time this virus is going to be defeated, we will have lost most of our youth to sexually transmitted infections and unknown diseases. Most of the girls do not want their parents or relatives to know that they use contraceptives. So youth-friendly health services help us to reach out to them because the services happen in a casual setup. Now that they have been suspended, we are surely going to have problems in reaching a good population of girls.
My biggest worry is that by the end of this outbreak, not all the young people who came back from schools will be able to go back and continue with their education. That is, if care is not well taken on issues of sexual reproductive health.
COVID-19 yakuza kwambiri kwa ife achinyamata kugaza kuti timakhane mikumano yathu ya youth friendly health service.
As youths, we rely on gatherings such as youth-friendly health service sessions and public meetings where we reach many youths with important messages. Now that gatherings of any form have been banned, it means we have been left with no means of meeting young people and engaging them in important discussions. This will definitely cripple our work.
Ndikubwera kwa COVID-19 kwapakisa kuti achinyamata ifeyo ngakhale ma friendly achi ndoti panoposo siti kukumana.
Maiko ambiri ndamene amabwesa kuno mankhwala nde chifukwa cha vuto la COVID-19.
We are aware that Malawi relies on importation of medical supplies, and with the COVID-19 outbreak, international travels and transportation of goods have been reduced. Our worry is that maybe some drugs might become scarce as the impacts of COVID-19 continue to grow, And one type of medical drugs that we as youth are worried about are contraceptives. If they end up being scarce, I can assure you that there is going to be another outbreak of STIs and unwanted pregnancies among youth. Most of the youths are not able to use natural contraception, but even if they knew how to use it, we still have STIs and HIV to worry about.
So kubali ya kutenga mimba. Chifukwa chonena kuti asikana ambiri njira zachikale sangakwanise kuzithandiza bwinobwino. Ambiri amadalira kulera ameneyo.
Zosintha zimene ndaziona chifukwa chakubwera kwa muliro umene wa COVID-19 ndiwoti ngati achinyamata amene amathamangathamanga mpaka ma business.
Some of our young people are self-reliant because they run small-scale businesses that rely on market days to make good profit. Now market days have been banned as well, which definitely means these young people have to look for other means of making a living. Our worry is that we will have many girls joining prostitution in order to maintain a steady cash flow. Now without surprises such as condoms and contraceptives, we all know what the outcome will look like.
Mapeto ake azibambo akutengerapo mwayi kuti iwe panopatu ndikuonjeza ndalama kuti ukwanise mene umapezera mwayi.
As one who is coming from a youth-led organization and a young person myself, I think as young people, first of all, we have been affected heavily with this COVID-19, and also as a district, health-wise, especially access to sexual reproductive health, especially family planning, contraception, and other services, sexual services, I think we have been affected. For example, as a youth-led organization, we have Youth Champions and YCBDs, with these youth community-based distribution agents, which support the health facilities in distributing the family planning contraception. So, I think this COVID-19 has instilled some fear among community members, especially adolescent girls and young women, that I think since we are maintaining social distancing, so maybe they feel they cannot go to a facility to access this contraception. And also, we are avoiding body contacts. So since we are avoiding body contacts, these YCBDs are also preventing from giving out these supplies to their clients, as well as holding talks in their communities about family planning. In terms of, I think as office, being a thread, and also our programming also is it targets advocacy work, which involves bringing together the authorities or duty bearers in the district. So, government with the new measures that we should avoid meetings and conferences. So, like our projects and projects of our fellow youth-led organizations in Malawi have been affected because we are no longer holding meetings with the district authorities. So I think it means we need to change advocacy strategies as youth-led organizations.
Our health workers will be overwhelmed with the workload because instead, apart from assisting usual patients, supposing we have this pandemic within our district, it means more health workers will be focused on COVID-19. And on the youth services, because there is a ban on gatherings, we will have a bit of impact because the youth, instead of gathering at health facilities, they will no longer do it because they were coming and we are having some fun like playing ball and other youth activities while waiting for the services like family planning. So because these are banned, it means there will be a bit of an impact. For family planning services, we have enough to cover us, to take us at least 3 months, especially depot and some pills. But mind you, for some pills, some youths were collecting them from our community-based distribution agents, which we call them CBDs. Now, these ones, because they don't have enough at the moment, probably the youth might find some difficulties in accessing the services from them.
Across Malawi, you hear worry after worry, after worry after worry over the impacts of COVID-19 on youth activities. It is obvious that there is need for someone to do something in order to assure young people across the nation of continued survival of youth activities in the country in the wake of the COVID-19. In the middle of this chaos, the young people seem to have no one to run to but government and non-governmental organizations.
Government and non-government organizations should explore other ways of disseminating SRH messages to youth, such as the use of radio, television, and even social media platforms. This will ensure that even though young people are not allowed to meet in groups and discuss their issues, but at the comfort of their homes they can still get the messages and follow them. It will ensure that we are not losing out on the youth.
Tupempha boma unena kuti pamene yopanga maplan nawo kagula mankhwala.
While authorities are planning to procure essential drugs amid this outbreak, they should also consider family planning supplies, because without them there is going to be another outbreak in the making among youths.
Tizapeze kuti tizaziterezera kumbali ya matenda kumaso kumbali ya kutenga mimba.
Boma likhale mwina ndi malingaliro kapena upangiri wabwino kuti kuzera m'maradio.
Government and non-government organizations should consider exploring radio and television programs to do with education, like Tikwele, which was on radio and was focusing on lower classes, but now it should focus on even upper classes. This, coupled with sensitization of parents to encourage their children to listen to such programs, will ensure that although they are off school, learners are still with the education spirit. It would also fill in their free time which they would use to engage in risky behaviors.
Ifesa nyamata tikukuzika nawo ndemwe mwina tingopempha boma plus mabungwe kunena kuti asatisie toka nyamata.
We young people have been heavily burdened like anyone else, so government and non-government organizations should consider us as partners in this fight. We want to take part in dealing with this virus so that very soon we can go back to our activities that rely on grouping.
Ayesese ndithu athamange kuti no apeze ndithu azafikira achinyamatawo kuzera munjira ina iliyonse.
Vincent Tom is Executive Director for Phalombe Youth Arms Organization, and he concurs with the youths in saying something needs to be done.
Now the focus is procuring supplies that are needed in the fight against COVID-19. So maybe our supplies in SRHR might be low, which we might fear, we might face shortouts or supplies that are not available in stocks in health facilities. So there are fears. So yeah, I think we just need our partners to balance the two, so that when they are supporting the procurement of COVID-19 supplies, they should also think of maintaining the required number of supplies needed in the sexual productive health, especially condoms and the family planning, to curb this looming high rate of STIs, HIV, as well as teen pregnancies in Malawi.
We are lobbying our partners like UNFPA to supply us some, so that if need be, we should be able to assist our youth.
Young people are leaders of today. They make the largest population of the nation.